Have you ever wondered how to give a demonstration speech? Well, today I'm here to show you how to give a demonstration speech. First, I'll talk to you about the criteria of your speech and what you'll need. Next, I'll talk to you about the outline of your speech and what that should look like. And finally, I will demonstrate how to give a demonstration speech by demonstrating how to make chocolate cake from scratch. For the criteria of your speech, you'll want to include the length, 3 to 5 note cards, 1 visual aid, and an outline. The length should be 5 to 8 minutes. And on the 3 to 5 note cards, you should have an intro, a body, and a conclusion, also known as an outline. For the visual aid, you should probably do what you're demonstrating. For example, if you're demonstrating how to snowboard, you should probably have a snowboard. And finally, you'll need an outline, which brings me to my second main point. For outline, you should have an intro, a body, and a conclusion, just like this one. In your intro, you should have an attention getter, you need to state your purpose, and then you need to preview your 3 main points. In your body, you need to have your 3 main points, all with supporting details and sentences to give it some length so that you can hit your 5 to 8 minute mark. And in your conclusion, you need to summarize your 3 main points, just like you previewed them in the introduction, and you need to have an ending line, which is usually a call to action. So now let's go right into my 3rd main point, where I'm going to demonstrate how to give a demonstration speech by demonstrating how to make chocolate cake from scratch. How many of you like cake? Okay. Well, then you're in luck, because today I'm here to show you how to make a chocolate cake from scratch. First, I'm going to show you the ingredients. Next, I'll show you how to mix them, and finally, I'll show you how to bake and decorate your cake. The ingredients you'll need are flour, sugar, cocoa, shortening, eggs, milk or cream, salt, baking soda, baking powder, and vanilla. When you're mixing them, you'll want to mix your wet ingredients into a smaller bowl. Your wet ingredients include your eggs, your milk or cream, and your vanilla. Then you want to mix your dry ingredients into a bigger bowl. Your dry ingredients include your flour, shortening, sugar, cocoa, salt, baking soda, and baking powder. Once they're both thoroughly mixed, you can dump your wet ingredients into your dry ingredients. Once that is thoroughly mixed, you can finally bake it. Now, there are many different ways that you can use this batter. You can make a 13 by 9 inch, you could make 2 8-inch rounds, you could do 2 9-inch rounds, you could do 24 cupcakes, you could even do a 12-cup bundt cake. Now, please remember that the baking times for these different uses are going to vary due to the thickness of the cake and the size of the cake. For example, the 13 by 9 inch, you're going to want to put in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. Your 2 8-inch round cakes, you want to put in for still 30 to 35 minutes because they're both about medium thickness and about the same size. Your 2 9-inch cakes are a little bigger, and so they're not going to be as thick, so they only need to go in for 25 to 30 minutes. Your 24 cupcakes, on the other hand, are not very thick, and they're kind of small compared to the cakes, and so they only need to go in for 18 to 23 minutes. Your 12-cup bundt cake needs to go in for 40 to 45 minutes because that's pretty thick compared to everything else. Now, once it's done, or so you think, you'll want to check it, and to do that, all you have to do is insert a toothpick into the center of the cake and then take it out. If it comes out clean, it's done, and if it doesn't, then it's not, and you need to put it back in the oven for 3 to 5 more minutes. But make sure you're watching your cake so that you don't overcook it. Otherwise, it won't be very good. Now, once it really is done, you can take it out and you want to let it sit for about 10 minutes. Then you can flip it over onto a cooling rack and let it finish cooling so that you can frost it. If you try to frost it before it's done cooling, you'll either melt your frosting or you'll rip apart the cake because your frosting is too hard. So today I've shown you your ingredients, how to mix them, and finally how to bake and decorate your cake. So now let's see how it tastes. Now that I'm done with my intro and my body, we can move right into my conclusion. So today I've talked to you about the criteria of your speech and what you'll need. Then I talked to you about your outline and what that should look like. And finally, I demonstrated how to give a demonstration speech by demonstrating how to make chocolate cake from scratch. So now let's eat some cake.